Good morning, folkers. Snapzilla Gorilla, aka The Definition, aka Snap Turtle, coming at y'all with another short video. This morning, I wanted to talk about why I do what I do, why I'm doing what I'm doing with these videos and this information I'm putting out there. Well, first I'm going to start with why I don't do a certain thing, which is be on that hotep stuff. You look into, the black social media space, and you come across, these super pro black cats that talk about oppression of the black man, and our history, and how we black people are how black people were here in the United States or here in America before the Europeans showed up, how we didn't come across on ships, millions of us, and things of that nature, police brutality and things like that. And that is important information, okay? But sometimes we get so bogged down in that type of thing that we don't see the forest for the trees. We don't see what's really going on. We don't see the bigger picture, okay? Now, I have done presentations on black oppression. I've done a presentation on the skewed statistics of black crime and the real history of black people in America since industrialization and beyond, and before that, slavery and things like that, and how the justice system is geared towards targeting black people more than any other race, which is very true. It's very true. You can deny it all you want. You can say, oh, that's not true, this, that, and the third, oh, it's got better. No. Look at my presentation. Look at all the things that I pull up. Okay, it's still going on today.
Right onto I-110
but
south.
What we fail to realize is black people may be the most oppressed people in this country, but we're not the only oppressed people in this country. We're not. It's just so. And also, what we have to realize is not all white people hate black folks.
Proceed
just like not all black people hate white folks. Okay, this is the thing. There are racist white folks out there. I don't care what people tell you. There are. See, I'm a pragmatic person. I operate out of logic. I don't operate out of emotion. I don't let emotion and ego and stubbornness blind me to the fact that there are indeed racist white folks. Okay,
11 miles
there are racist white folks
on the route
in the system that control us, that rule over us. You know what I mean? They don't have a problem oppressing all the American people as a whole, but best believe that the heel, the foot of the oppressor, is on the necks of all people in this country that aren't part of the elite cabal. But the heel, where the most pressure is applied to the black neck. Point blank and period. We can debate about it. We can dispute about it, whatever. Moving on from that. The reason I don't harp on that, the reason I don't stay on that type of thing, is because I realize that we're all oppressed. And I realize that in order to free ourselves of these chains, we have to break every link in the chain. We have to break the link completely. All right? I mean, that means freeing everyone. See, we're all subject to the crooked politicians. We're all subject to the bankers, the elite bankers, right? The banking cartel. If you're not part of that elite crew, they don't care about you. You understand what I'm saying? They don't care about you. All they want is more power, more money, and they want to control all the lands. They want to control all the resources, and they want to reduce the population so that they have better access to those resources without us pesky peasants sucking it all up, right? And this is the true motive behind climate change, okay? This is the true motive behind the people that push climate change, that want to do all these different things to help the climate, right? But in reality, they want to help. They want to help themselves to the climate. They want to help themselves to the planet. That's why they're buying all this land in New Zealand, right? That's why they drop all these green SB40. I forgot what it's called, but these pellets that poison the wildlife in New Zealand, which many of the indigenous people rely upon to live, to survive. Okay? But see, it's not just the black and brown people that they want to oppress and they want to depopulate. They want, the idea is to reduce the population to 10%. Black people and brown people are not 90% of the world. Okay? Now, there are black elites out there that are part of the plan. And we have to be very careful about how we idolize people, how we fanaticize over people. See, I'm not a fan of anyone. I'm not a fanatic over anyone. That's fan is short for fanatic. I'm not one of those people. Okay? So what the thing is, we have to realize that all the history, all the things that the system does to black people, which is horrible, which is worse than, look, well, you know who has it worse? The Native Americans, right? The indigenous people of this land, who they call Indians or whatever the case may be, the people that we coexisted with when we came over here before the Europeans did. We coexisted with them, we build with them, all that other stuff. They damn near wiped them out. They don't exist. They don't exist purely on their own, or they are mixed in with the blood of the black people in this land. So many of us are native, have native ancestry, including myself for sure. So I have Native American ancestry, much like many other black people whose family were here during slavery. But I want you guys to pay attention to what's going on, right? Right now, what they are doing, Michael Bloomberg and friends, is going to every state. They're going state to state to state to state to push these red flag laws, to show the state how best to implement it, how best to introduce the bill, how to sneak it in there. Now, what I want you guys to do is go to Guns and Gadgets, okay? Guns and Gadgets. Really good channel. Every time there is a new gun control law in any state, he is quick to get this information and put it out there. If you're interested in knowing what they're doing with gun control all across the country, check out Guns and Gadgets. Okay? Really good channel, really good information. And it's information that we need. They're pushing, look, in the past couple of weeks, they done been to Nebraska, Oklahoma, South Dakota, all these different red states that are so strong in protecting the Second Amendment. And they're pushing these dumbass red flag laws. A red flag law is the ultimate law. That is the best law they're going to have to take people's weapons away, one person at a time. It really won't. See, they want to go for mass confiscation. They want to go for mass buybacks, right? Mandatory buybacks, but they're getting too much pushback from that. So what they're doing is they're giving anybody and everybody that you encounter the ability to send the police to your house and take your weapons away. They have these ex parte hearings with the judge where you can't be present. You're not going to be present during these hearings. You can't defend yourself. The judge gives the warrant to the cops and they go to your house and take your shit.
Continue on I-110
And much like that
south.
man in I forgot his name in Maryland, he had a red flag law issued on him at 5 o'clock in the morning. He did not want to comply because like, what the hell are you talking about? And the cops ended up killing him. Now he's not the only case, but it will be much more of that, and that's what they want. Okay, they push these red flag laws, and all these other laws they're trying to push won't even need to be implemented to a degree, right? Because they can take the weapon away one person at a time. And the FBI is working on a tool. They're trying to get these social media companies to create a tool that will allow them to pinpoint anyone who's talking any type of shit who they feel like are a threat or might commit a crime in the future. It's another pre-crime tool. It's another minority report tool to take people's freedoms away without due process. Which boy Trump say? I like take the guns first, due process second. He's pushing airpole laws. He's pushing red flag laws. He wants stronger background checks. He already proved that he's against the Second Amendment by going after the bump stocks. He banned bump stocks. Now you might argue, oh, that's not a firearm. It doesn't matter if it's a firearm or not. On its own, it does nothing. It's a tool. He banned a tool that is a part of a firearm. You make it a part of a firearm. So if it's not a firearm, why ban it? On its own, it does nothing. It doesn't matter if it's useless or not. The fact of the matter is, Trump is just as much as an oppressor as Obama was, as Governor Northam out of Virginia is. And you have all these hypocrites, all these cult of personality Trump lovers, with the suffering from a cult of personality disorder, telling you, making all these excuses for Trump stepping on the Second Amendment. You know what I'm saying? But when Northam does the same thing, he wants background checks. He wants airpole. You understand? He wants to raise the age to 21, like Trump does. Feel me? So these are all things that Trump is doing the same shit, but Trump isn't the problem? Hell yes, he's the problem. And that's why I got on ABL Live and called him on the phone and called his ass out on that. So, because let me tell you something. You know what's more dangerous to black people? People like ABL, Anthony Brian Logan, who pull people